welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to make a video about what's the difference between an LVN and an RN. A lot of people don't know that. In California, we call them LVNs. In other states, they call them LPNs. So basically, an LVN is a licensed vocational nurse. It's an entry-level nurse. You go to school for about a year, and then you come out and you predominantly work in nursing homes or clinics. I've worked a lot of places: nursing homes, clinics, assisted living facilities, infusion rooms, jails, rehab centers. You can do a lot with your licensed vocational nurse license. You are a licensed provider, so that means you have your own license and it can be taken away. The big difference, so RNs go to school for at the least 2 years. They are not entry level. They're a little bit more median because they're not advanced practitioners. But they can work independently. As LVNs, we still have to work under a RN or a physician's assistant, or a nurse practitioner. They can give medications through IV, whereas LVNs cannot. And they can do assessments, while LVNs just gather information and pass it along to their next level of supervision, whether that be a registered nurse or a physician. So those are like the textbook differences between LVNs and RNs. Another big difference is the pay, but most importantly, and what I've observed more predominantly, is the respect. As LVNs, I don't feel like we get respect at all. Anytime I tell someone I'm an LVN, they either say, "What's that?" Or, "Are you going to school to get your RN? Okay, but you want to be a nurse, right?" But LVNs are nurses. So I feel like we don't get the respect from the outside population. We also don't get the respect inside of work, unless you work in an area that is predominantly LVNs or has a vast history of working with LVNs and they kind of know the role. Other than that, I feel like you definitely don't get the respect that you deserve as an LVN. In nursing homes, I think you do, because you run the nursing home. So it's like everybody knows you and they know what you're capable of there. But once you step outside to other places, it's like, "I'm sorry, you do what?" So yeah. And my experience, my road to where I am now, currently I'm an LVN. I finished all of my prerequisites and I'm applying to RN school. I would like to be an RN. I would still like my respect as an LVN, but I would like to be an RN. But I did it this way because I listened to people, and I wish I hadn't have. People told me, you can't go right into RN school. It's too compacted. It's too impacted. Just go to LVN school and then just take a bridge. And if I knew then what I knew now, I would not. People talk to you like between LVN and RN bridge is some type of secret pathway tunnel that nobody else knows about, but it's just as impacted as straight to RN school, but it takes more time. Yeah, it does. So here's the thing. Here's why I wouldn't do it like that, among other reasons. So when I went to LVN school, I was 25 and I had a son. I was like, okay, well, I'll be able to take care of myself while I go to RN school. I'll still be able to support myself, which is true. I made a good living, have made a good living, an okay living being an LVN. I have been able to support myself. I feel like I have gained so much knowledge that RN school will not be as hard for me because I've worked with physicians. I've worked in a lot of different settings and I have a lot of experience. But I feel like becoming an LVN first made me complacent for many years. So when I got out of LVN school and I became an LVN, I made more money than I had ever made. So there was no big push to go to school right away. Like, I didn't get out of LVN school and go right to RN school. It's like, oh, I'm gonna just chill for a minute. So yeah, that minute turned into 5-6 years now. Long time. And you know, when you work in jobs where you are appreciated and you are like not at the bottom, then you do become complacent, because why do you want to leave? You know, like, you feel good. You walk around, people know your name, they know what you do, they pay you with respect. But when you don't work in those kind of settings, there's a bigger push. So for a lot of my years, I was in clinic and I was in outpatient surgery, assisted living. I always worked in places where LVNs were common, so I got respect. But about 2 years ago, when I went to another job, I got no respect. It was like the most berating thing ever, and that's when I really got the initiative to full force hit my prerequisites. I was taking so many classes at one time. It was like imperative for me. The place where I worked, they were like, what's an LVN? What does an LVN do? I'm not letting them touch my patients. It was like ridiculous, you know? And it was just like, okay, it's time to go, you know? So I feel like I wouldn't advise anyone to go through LVN first, because for what? Like, no disrespect to my LVNs, we are smart, we are hardworking, but you have to admit it does slow you down, and it's not necessarily easier. Sometimes you do double the work. Like, for instance, my LVN school that I went to, I took my prerequisites there. Well, they didn't take them nowhere else because it was a private school, so I had to redo every prerequisite over. Redoing your prerequisites is at least a year, so it didn't help me there. Like I said before, LVN and RN school bridges are just as impacted as straight RN school. The only difference is you get to skip one semester. So, or maybe 2 in some cases. I think it might be 2. So here's the thing. Let's say you go to City College, right? City College is 2 years. So I'm an LVN. If I apply, I take, and I get in, you go to your whole first year. I don't go to that first year. I take a summer course and then I come in your last year. But really, how much time is that I've saved? It's not like I'm going to get right in right away. So any advice I have for anybody that wants to pursue nursing is go straight for your RN. Don't even wait. It's not worth it, because I feel like it will slow you down. You won't go straight into RN right after. And so those are the big differences between LVN and RN. And the biggest difference of them all. Yeah, so LVNs make half the money, sometimes a third of the money that RNs make. So no. But don't get me wrong, if you want to become an LVN just to become an LVN, by all means do it. Don't believe the hype that you can only work in nursing homes, because that has not been my career at all. Furthermore, I've never worked in a nursing home. My first job, I worked in assisted living. I performed no hands-on care. I was just the only licensed staff to oversee everything. From there, I went to outpatient surgery. I was a circulating nurse. I removed stitches. I pre-op patients. I did wound care. From there, I went to a family practice clinic where I gave injections. I did wound care, pretty chill schedule. From there, I went to rehab, corrections, an infusion room where I gave blood hydration, blood products, did PICC line dressings. I still room patients. I was low-key a slave. So I just said that to say, if you want to be an LVN, go for it. I respect you. The world might not respect you though, like, if we're keeping it real. But that's just my take. So just to recap, the LVN to RN difference is RNs they get paid a lot more. In most cases, they do less work, more delegation. They go to school longer, of course, but they can work independently, whereas LVNs is something a lot quicker, and it's really not hard to get into LVN school. LVN school is hard because most of them are fast track. They are hard. It is a lot of information, but it's not as hard to get into. You make less. You do have a smaller range of places that you can work. So those are the big differences, and I just wanted to provide a follow-up video more in line with my last video, because I've seen that I kind of got more of a response on that. So if you have any questions or any comments, or you want me to make a video about anything else, go ahead and leave that in the comments. Thanks, guys.